The Switch 2 is right around the corner, and as many of us are gearing up to grab this new console, I thought it would be an amazing time to break down 5 JRPGs that will be launching on the Nintendo Switch 2. This is definitely shaping up to be a strong successor to the original Switch, but just as importantly, it's looking like a promising platform for JRPGs. The original Switch ended up with an incredibly deep JRPG library and is one of the best consoles for the genre of all time. And early signs suggest that momentum is going to carry forward here. I'm super excited to play all these games, so with all that said, let's jump right into the list. Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD marks a significant return to a title that played a foundational role in revitalizing turn-based JRPGs. Originally released for the Nintendo 3DS, the game was praised for its innovative battle system, its strong art direction, and its commitment to classical JRPG design principles while introducing some really modern conveniences that we see implemented in JRPGs that are developed even today. The most notable mechanic, the Brave and Default system, allows you to either conserve actions for future turns or spend multiple actions in one turn. This creates this strategic layer that breaks away from the traditional turn-based pacing that we were once very used to. This system, paired with a customizable job class structure, gives you substantial control over party composition and your tactical approach. The remaster features high-definition visual upgrades, retaining the distinct hand-painted town environments that I absolutely adored, and stylized character models while upgrading them for modern displays. Bravely Default's narrative blends traditional fantasy tropes with some unique twists on the structure of JRPG storytelling, particularly in its second half. Though its storytelling devices were polarizing, the game remains one of the more, mechanically confident and aesthetically original titles from Square Enix in general. On the more powerful hardware, many of its best elements, particularly its visual design and layered soundtrack, which honestly, all of the Bravely Default soundtracks are amazing for sure, but the original is one of my all-time favorites, and those will all be able to shine here again for many players that haven't been able to experience this game yet. For fans of job-based systems and deliberate strategic combat, this remaster is a noteworthy addition to the Switch 2's early JRPG lineup. I, for one, will be playing this right away, so definitely look out for a review of this one very soon after launch. Capcom's Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess is an original action strategy RPG that blends traditional Japanese aesthetics with real-time tactical gameplay. Unlike most JRPGs, which rely heavily on, turn-based or even purely action-based combat, Kunitsugami introduces a hybrid structure. By day, you'll rebuild and purify corrupted villages, and by night, you must defend them in real-time battles against supernatural threats. This day-night cycle is central to its gameplay loop and is expected to offer a more dynamic pacing aspect to the game. The setting draws heavily from mythology and traditional Japanese iconography. You will assume the role of a masked warrior who partners with a divine maiden to cleanse areas from a corruption that is rapidly spreading. This game explores the balance between order and chaos. Unlike typical JRPGs centered on individual heroes, Kunitsugami's narrative and systems both stress collaboration and collective action. What makes this game particularly notable is Capcom's clear effort to develop a visually distinctive and mechanically original title. The game features stylized environments that look really amazing. I mean, these colors pop, the art style looks really good, and I imagine this being a great game to play on the Switch 2's bright screen. Combat appears to be squad-based, allowing you to issue commands to NPC villagers who play key roles in the defense of your base. This approach borrows elements from tower defense and RTS genres, but filters them through a character-driven lens. The game also includes some more deep RPG progression systems. I have not played this game yet personally. It's one that has been sitting in my backlog for a while as something I've really been meaning to get to, and now may just be the time. For those interested in systems-driven JRPGs that kind of step out of those conventional templates we're all used to, Kunitsugami represents a promising and experimental direction. I'm so excited to play this one, and I'm glad it's launching on the new console. Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma is a soft reset for the long-running farming action RPG series, and it comes at a time when the franchise really needs one. This is a game I've been super excited about, and the Switch 2 is where I will be playing it. After Room Factory 5 launched with performance problems and overall mixed reception, this entry appears focused on technical stability, strong visual identity, and a refined gameplay loop. The game shifts its setting to the region of Azuma, a world inspired by Japanese landscapes and culture. Visually, this game is a notable upgrade in almost every conceivable way. The setting is new, and the story seems to be more of a focus this time around. Farming, romance, town building, and dungeon crawling all remain the genre staples here, but early footage suggests a more dynamic and responsive combat system as well, with animations and effects that feel much closer to a modern action RPG than what we have been used to with the Room Factory series. Where Guardians of Azuma may stand out most is in its thematic framing. The story seems more structured around environmental balance and cultural heritage, with elemental guardians tied to the stability of the natural world. These larger stakes give the game narrative direction beyond personal growth or seasonal progression without abandoning the life sim elements that have always defined the series. The Switch 2's improved specs should also help address the performance concerns that have plagued previous games in the series, something that deterred me from actually playing the last one. A more stable frame rate and higher resolution will help everything feel more polished. If it succeeds, Guardians of Azuma could re-establish Room Factory as a top-tier JRPG again. The remaster of Suikoden 1 and 2 are more than a re-release. It's the reintroduction of two games that helped define character-driven storytelling in JRPGs. They're presented now with widescreen support, redrawn backgrounds, updated portraits, while preserving the original sprite work. I played the first game on the original Switch and have been holding off on diving into the second one, and with a Switch 2 version coming, I'll likely return to finish it. I'm not sure exactly how much of an upgrade this will feel like because personally, I felt that the original release on the Switch ran very well, and either way, a higher resolution and the bigger handheld screen are welcome additions to my playthrough of these games. Suikoden 1 is a more compact RPG. It centers around a rebellion against a corrupt empire. It's got fast battles, a streamlined recruitment system for the Stars of Destiny, and a strong focus on political conflict over mythical prophecy. It's my understanding that Suikoden 2 expands on this framework in every way: improved mechanics, deeper character arcs, and one of the most compelling rivalries in all of JRPGs. It's widely regarded as one of the best games ever made. The HD remaster preserves the original pace and structure of the games while integrating a lot of quality of life improvements like conversation logs, autosaves, and speed up options for combat. These changes bring the game in line with modern expectations without compromising their core identity. The new character portraits and backgrounds are stylistically cohesive, maintaining the tone of the originals while offering, honestly, some really nice visual upgrades to these games. From a design standpoint, Suikoden remains instructive. It demonstrates how to do a large ensemble cast without losing narrative focus, and how to keep pacing tight in an era before, 80-hour JRPGs were a thing. For those unfamiliar with the series, this release is an ideal entry point. For returning fans, it's a faithful restoration that treats the originals with great care. Yakuza 0 is often considered the ideal starting point for the long-running series, and the director's cut on Switch 2 provides a technically improved version tailored to Nintendo's upcoming hardware. While not a traditional JRPG in structure, Yakuza 0 shares the genre's investment in character progression, branching subplots, and meaningful use of side content. It also features multiple combat styles, skill trees, equipment systems, and a strong narrative core, placing it firmly within the broader RPG conversation. Set in 1980s Tokyo, the game follows the crew as they navigate a turf war over a critical piece of real estate. The story focuses heavy on organized crime and economic ambition, offering a grounded tone punctuated by surreal and often comedic side stories, as you would typically expect with the Yakuza series. The contrast between the main plot intensity and all these side activities you have access to is honestly a defining feature of the series and one of my favorite aspects. Of course, the director's cut includes visual enhancements, but the key benefit here has to be the portability. Yakuza 0's structure is dense with side content, short encounters, narrative breaks, and these all lend themselves well to handheld play. Features like the real estate minigame and The Cabaret Club management are full subsystems that benefit from long form engagement across multiple sessions. And what elevates Yakuza 0 above most other games in the genre is its writing. Both leads are well developed, the dialogue is sharp and well written. For Switch 2 owners who have not yet gotten into the series, this is the perfect place to start. Jump into Yakuza 0. All right, everyone, the Switch 2 launch lineup is shaping up to be something really special, from purist remasters and farming sims to experimental strategy action hybrids. The 5 titles here offer hundreds of hours of fun to be had, so there's definitely no shortage of games to get started with for fans of JRPGs. More importantly, each of these games offers a nice, distinct identity mechanically and thematically. Whether you're coming in for more traditional turn based combat, some crazy political drama, or something more experimental, this lineup makes a compelling early case for picking up a Switch 2 at launch. Let me know in the comments below if you're getting a Switch 2 soon, and if so, which games are you going to be playing on it first? Anyway, that's it for me in this one, and until next time, I'm out.